You're lying in bed, calculating exactly how much sleep you'll get if you sleep right now. That calculation usually triggers a spike of anxiety, which causes your heart rate to climb and your brain to enter a state of high alert. It's a feedback loop. The pressure to fall asleep is the very thing keeping you awake, with narrators guiding you through magical woodlands or searching for the Loch Ness Monster. Yet the analytics show the primary audience for these videos is exhausted, heavily stressed adults. A structural analysis of these transcripts reveals they aren't random creative writing. They follow a consistent sequence of cues that align with how the human nervous system processes the transition to rest. These stories work because they stop asking the brain to go to sleep. Instead, they use a specific auditory framework to trigger the nervous system into shutting down. Almost every script begins with the same physical instruction. Before the story starts, the narrator tells you to take a few deep breaths, specifically ensuring your out-breath is slightly longer than your in-breath. This specific breathing ratio has a direct biological effect. Extended exhalations stimulate the vagus nerve, which triggers the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's rest and digest mode. Manually reducing your heart rate this way sends a definitive safety signal to the brain. It overrides the fight or flight response, telling your nervous system that it's safe to lower its guard. Before you've even reached the first chapter, the script has already forced your physical body to abandon its waking defensive posture. Around the 5-minute mark, the narrator shifts into a core narrative defined by hyper-specific environmental details. You are saturated with sensory data: the rough texture of damp tree bark, the scent of oilseed from a nearby field, or the rhythmic sweep of a lighthouse beam cutting through a dark storm. This is a representation of working memory. The human brain has a strictly limited capacity for holding and processing information at any single moment. By providing a constant stream of dense sensory data, like the sound of rain or the smell of wood, the script fills this working memory capacity. This physically pushes out abstract anxieties and repetitive stress loops. This technique mutes your internal anxious monologue. It replaces your worries with a safe, artificial reality that requires just enough attention to distract you, but not enough to stimulate your brain. Eventually, the narrator pivots, shifting the focus from the fictional world back to your physical body resting in bed. They dictate a specific anatomical path, starting at the scalp and moving systematically through the face, jaw, and shoulders, traveling all the way down to your toes. This employs the clinical technique of progressive muscle relaxation. By consciously focusing on releasing each muscle group, you clear out the residual, unconscious physical tension you've been carrying all day. This systematic body scan artificially induces the heavy sensation and physical immobility that naturally occurs right before you fall into a deep sleep. In the final phase, the script introduces a downward physical journey. You might be asked to imagine descending into a crystal cave, walking down a spiral staircase, or climbing down a gentle hill. This downward motion is paired with a slow, deliberate numerical countdown, usually starting at 20 and ending at 1. The combination of falling imagery and repetitive counting acts as a hypnotic trigger. It is designed to lower your brainwave frequencies, shifting the mind from a relaxed alpha state into a drowsy theta state. This final structural pairing transitions the listener from a state of passive relaxation into active unconsciousness. These 8-hour videos are effectively a continuous loop of these 4 phases. They are designed to catch your attention and drag it back down no matter when you might wake up during the night. They solve the central paradox of sleep. It is a state that becomes more elusive the more you actively pursue it. Relocating your focus to a narrator's description of a rainstorm or a magical woodland serves as a deliberate outsourcing of the burden of consciousness. By surrendering control of your internal monologue to a structured story, you stop fighting your own mind and allow your biology to take over.